Welcome to Studio G's weekly recap, where I'll sit down with the journalists who shot this week's top stories. Studio G starts right now. Welcome to today's edition of Studio G's Magazine Show. I'm your host for this week, Mandy Massa. Joining me today are Alyssa Stein, who took us to the show that celebrated World Water Day, and Nicole Reynolds, the reporter that brought an addiction to light. We start today with Cirque du Soleil, who are known for putting on unique artistic performances, and a special show they put on only once a year is no different. Reporter Alyssa Stein shows us how.
We need one thing to thrive. It's a substance. It's not oil, not food, not even gold. It's water.
Cirque du Soleil held its third annual One Night for One Drop event last Friday inside the Mirage Hotel and Casino in the Beatles Love Theater.
It takes about 6 months to put this together. We close all of the Cirque shows the night of the performance, but people rehearse during the day, at night, early in the morning. It's all put together piecemeal.
The evening held an original one-time production celebrating World Water Day. Each of the 8 Las Vegas Cirque du Soleil productions came together to create an out-of-this-world show for a great cause.
I just thought it was an amazing opportunity as an artist to get involved not only in a different project, because right now I'm training at Michael Jackson one, just to really make a difference as artists we travel the world and we get to see I went to Central Asia last year and we take it for granted sometimes how well we have it in the United States, and it's just as simple as having clean drinking water. If we can make a difference by just donating our arts and raising this money, I think it's really important.
All proceeds for the one-time-only charity performance went to the One Drop organization, which touches places such as El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, India, Nicaragua, and the United States.
So by the end of this year, it's more than 1 million people that we will have touched on these 3 continents. And One Drop's goal is not only to reach a crazy amount of people, but rather do it in a very systematic way and ensure that whatever we invest in those communities is going to be long-lasting and it's going to transform their ability to thrive, as families and as communities through water.
This nonprofit was established in 2007 by Guy Laliberté, founder of Cirque du Soleil. The main mission of One Drop is to ensure that water is accessible to all, today and forever. Since its establishment, it has significantly improved the living conditions of 300,000 people worldwide.
This year we'll probably top another $6 million, so in 3 years we'll have taken in close to $17 million.
One Night for One Drop is already planning 2016's event, which will engage more of the Las Vegas community.
Yeah, we already have One Drop 4 planned, and then we're going to go to the Smith Center for the Performing Arts and come out of our theaters and make that a true, real community event.
For Studio G, I'm Alyssa Stein. For more information on the One Drop organization, visit their website, onedrop.org. All right, Alyssa, so this is your story. Let's start with you. Tell us why you wanted to cover this event.
Well, growing up in Las Vegas, being born and raised here, I've lived with Cirque du Soleil my whole life, and I didn't even know they had a charity organization, honestly. And after doing a little research, this is their 3rd year, and it goes to an amazing, great cause, like getting clean water to those that need it, and just improving living conditions for all. So,
how was it seeing all of the shows combined? Because I think, Nicole, have you seen a show before?
I've actually only seen Le Rêve, which is pretty much done in water as well, and I thought that was absolutely stunning. So it was really neat to see your footage, and it's just all of them put together.
Yeah, how was that? Have you seen any? Because I've seen 2. I've seen Michael Jackson, I saw the Elvis, but seeing those all in one.
non-water ones. I've seen way too many shows. It's actually, so it's not combined. What it is, it's a brand new show, and they create a brand new show every single year. But it's from all the performers from the shows here go to it. So it's like 500 performers go in, and they have 6 months to do this, and they practice while still doing their other show. So I talked to one of the guys I interviewed. He actually performs at Michael Jackson 1, and he said it's so cool that I get to be a part of this, and we got to travel and go to the other countries and see everything that they're actually doing this cause for. So they love donating their time to a great cause. But the show was a little out there. I'll definitely say that, but it was really it was so intriguing and cool, and it's just about life and how one person can change one thing, and that we all need to be conscious of what we're doing and who we can help. So it's
what I'm really interested in is, because I went to a show before, and I barely had my phone up to nobody on the stage yet to take a picture, and they were like, how did you get in? How did they let you film this?
And it's funny, I've worked with Cirque du Soleil before at one of my former jobs, and they are very strict with performing and stuff, or recording their performances. I contacted their PR, and they were so ecstatic that I wanted to come in for Studio G and record this. They were like, yes, they wanted to get the word out there. It's not necessarily like this is a performance where they're trying to get money for the company. They're trying to spread the word that, you know, they want clean water for all, and including the United States. They talked about that, how California needs clean water, and they're in a drought, and we're in a drought here for Lake Mead as well. So they were really excited. I was excited because I was actually the only one there to record it. There were some photographers, but I was the only one there recording. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And then they gave me the interview too. Yeah, it was definitely exclusive.
Cool. So yeah, really good cause. I actually read this morning that they ended up raising $6 million. I had to look at that twice, but really great cause, and cool that you were there.
Yeah,
Thanks for covering that.
So excited for the 4th year, and they hope to raise even more money then.
Good.
Yeah.
Coming up after the break, I'll show you how people are getting into the spirit of March Madness and how it's only just beginning. We'll be right back.
My show is called Window on the Middle East, and it deals with all the issues that deal with the Middle East. Middle East is a very important part of the world. I grew up in America, and yet I'm from the Middle East. It's a commoner's viewpoint based on experience as well as scholarship. My name is Shervin Mushuri. I'm the host of the talk show Window on the Middle East at the rebelhd2.com.
The name of my show is called Perfect Music Radio. The music that I play is pop music, alternative music, a little bit of R&B, and just a drop of hip hop. Giving information about what's going on in today's society, technology, entertainment, not just in the community, but outside of the community. You're listening to Perfect Music Radio with me, Lily, right here on 91.5, the Rebel HD2.
Welcome back. Whether you're sitting pretty at the sportsbook or your bracket is already busted, the NCAA tournament is still in full swing. And here's a look at why Las Vegas is becoming the go-to destination for college basketball's biggest month. March Madness is here, and fans of the game are saying there's only one place where you can catch all the action.
I am such a huge college hoops fan. I mean, where else is the better place to be than Las Vegas for March Madness? I mean, it's unbelievable.
During the annual college basketball playoff, the Las Vegas Strip transforms to offer fans of the game an experience that aims to compete with the likes of courtside seats.
I've been to NCAA tournament games in March Madness, but if here, with all the games going at once and everything going on, it's more fun, I think, to be here than anywhere else.
I caught up with some incoming out-of-towners here at McCarran International Airport, and while most of them told me they were big college basketball fans, the majority of them also told me they weren't simply here for the love of the game.
We're going to gamble, try to win money, try to spend money, try to save money, and you know, hopefully our best team, our favorite teams will win.
Las Vegas offers college basketball fans an all-inclusive experience where they can watch, wager, and win.
Lots of TVs, lots of gambling, lots of money being lost, hopefully being won right here in my pocket.
And so far, it doesn't seem like any other city can compete.
We've done March Madness in New York 2 years ago, and that was fun, but you miss out on that aspect of coming here, betting on the games, betting on individual statistics and stuff like that. You get a whole other aspect coming out here to see the games.
March Madness and all that its name entails doesn't only attract tourists. The city estimates that more than half of game-related revenue comes from Las Vegas locals.
I mortgaged my home. I took my dog down to the pawn shop. I went into my wife's purse. It's all in today.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Mandy Massa. We've reached the Sweet 16, and March Madness is still the talk of the town. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority says March is one of the busiest months for tourism. So I have to ask, just to get the ball rolling, what do you guys know about the tournament?
It's basketball.
Lots of teams. No, I like basketball. I like watching basketball. I used to play basketball.
Oh.
Not very well.
But
March Madness is the only time I actually will sit and watch game after game after game of basketball. And I don't know what about it makes it so much more exciting than just like, oh, tonight we have this game, or on this night we have this game. Something about it, I think the fact that it's just games stacked on top of each other is just incredible.
Is that why, do you think that's why people come out here? Why, as opposed to, I talked to a ton of people who said that this is better than sitting and watching, being there courtside. And I mean, I guess I get it. I
mean, honestly, we're Las Vegas, and every single casino and hotel, they have a sports book that is incredible. I mean, why would you want to sit at home or at a bar? I mean, unless you like being comfortable. But
well, what about on the court? Like, people told me coming here is better than being there at the game.
They get to watch every single like little angle from it.
Mm-hmm.
They can hear from both sides. They can hear statistics while they're in there. They're also, especially if they're betting, I mean, that's where they want to make the money right there. They can change something, or they want to bet on the next game, who knows. But I mean, and it's cocktail service and things like that to keep in mind.
I think it's the outcome of each game affects the outcome of everyone else.
It does.
Because obviously it's a bracket system, so if like one team wins and that wasn't, now it affects your whole bracket. So you got to almost be aware of every single game that's going on.
It's a lot. I want to say it's 64, actually technically 68 teams start, and now we're down to 16, but that's a lot. And the first weekend, they told me, was that people in the sports books told me that it's the busiest, and that people start to go. It's more locals this week, but I could see why. How many games? I can't even do the math. What was 64 to 16? I can't even do that math to figure out. But that's a lot of games, and watching them all in one place.
It's got to be fun, and I mean it looks fun having everybody sitting there all together. You saw all the different college shirts, so you know who's cheering for who. I think it's just a great time all around.
Yeah.
So we know why the fans come to Las Vegas, but how Las Vegas actually benefits. So I got to catch up with some of the incoming out-of-towners, and they also told me why they choose this. So we talked about that. Plus, I got to speak with some local experts about how Las Vegas itself benefits from all the madness. So let's take a look at that. March Madness is underway, and visitors from around the country have made their way to Las Vegas to watch, wager, and win.
There are certain events that Las Vegas does better than anybody else. The Super Bowl and March Madness. This is the first real big day of March Madness, and if you go into the Westgate Sportsbook and you go into their showroom, it's pandemonium, but it's good pandemonium because everybody's excited about being in Las Vegas. There's nothing like watching the game here.
The unique experience Las Vegas offers fans is certainly good for local business.
It's better than good. It's great for business.
Jimmy Vaccaro, one of the original and most notable odds makers in the sports betting business, says the house is packed.
We're dealing with about 2,000 more people that we would normally see on a Saturday that will come in during the course of the day, in and out. Upstairs we have a ballroom with 1,000 people in it. We had to turn some people away because we just didn't have enough room.
Vaccaro says the increase in business is usually due to big events where you can place a bet.
Sports betting in general has just taken off here in Nevada. From what we did 5 years ago to where we are now, it's just like incrementally, it's jumped close to 10% a year.
And the tournament specifically, it continues to grow as well.
We all benefit here of the growth of this tournament. It's grown about 7% a year in the past 5 years. That's a huge jump in sports betting.
The growth of the tournament over the past decade has been so great that it's now being compared to one of the biggest sporting events of the year.
First 4 days of the tournament, it's like 4 days of Super Bowl. It's a little, Super Bowl is actually a little easier to manage because there's just the one game, whereas there's one game after another, so it keeps us pretty busy.
To deal with the extra rush, hotels and casinos here in town must make adjustments, beneficial to local residents looking for a job.
We bring in temps to help us out because it's the 4 days, like I said, it starts early. We open at 7, we'll close 11 or 12 depending on the crowd. So it's a long day, so we have to have some extra bodies.
The Las Vegas economy is reaping the benefits as well. Last year, the city had more than 3.6 million visitors during the month of March. And the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority expects to surpass that number this year.
Town is on fire. It's really great for our economy. Like 96% occupancy rate in the rooms, and we have to fill 160,000 rooms here. That's where we have our bread and butter. And events like this and the way they promote it, and the excitement that's here, everybody has to come to Las Vegas.
The madness that takes over the city won't be going anywhere anytime soon.
It's a whole week of where the city really, it benefits everybody because you have extra people coming in here, and it's just something that's grown leaps and bounds in the past 10 years. Where it's going to end, kid, you're smarter than me if you know.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Mandy Massa. In addition, the American Gaming Association estimates that over $9 billion will be wagered on this year's NCAA tournament. Compare that to only about $3 million on the Super Bowl. So a lot of money being spent out here on food, beverage, but mostly gambling, the sports books. Everybody, the games are more exciting. People want to place money. They want to know that on top of it. And whether that's because they're into the games or not. Have you guys ever placed a bet?
Not on sports.
Never?
I just give my dad money, and I'm like, so I trust you. My fate's in your hands. Whatever. He usually comes back really successful. So
the whole, win-lose thing. I mean, I guess. But how about proposition bets?
Oh,
the fun ones, like the big ones about the Super Bowl. Who's going to get the first touchdown?
I only do that if I'm at parties.
Yeah, I only do that with my boyfriend.
Yeah, they'll be at
Just
parties,
for the fun of it.
and they're like, everyone's like, "Oh, come over, we're doing bets." I'm like, "Oh, here's $2."
Yeah, I think I'm just too stingy with my own money.
Yeah, I work hard for it.
I don't care who gets
the
first
odds
one.
maker. Yeah, he told me that he thinks that that's why. So much more revenue is because it's not, you don't have to know about sports necessarily anymore. You can just say, I think this guy is going to do this. And the craziest stuff, it's actually, if you didn't know, illegal. He told me this in Las Vegas. They can't have a, what color is the Gatorade going to be? You can only do that online. And it's the most popular one. I don't know why they can't. It has to be on field. That's why.
I was about to say, that's like my favorite when I'm at someone's house and we're like betting.
I guess it makes the game more exciting.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
One of the big issues that I ran into actually out there was filming. I got prior permission, obviously, and they weren't as nice to me as they were nice, but just put their hand in front of my camera sometimes.
Yeah.
And the rules have changed a lot recently about being able to film in a sports book. You can now, but with that many people, they just didn't like it. And so that's actually why I ended up going to the airport.
Did they give you a better reason than we just don't like you filming?
They wanted to know who I talked to and what, and don't point it at the screens and stuff. But as you saw, I did all of it anyway.
You think that even if you were to point at the screens and you saw all the games, people are at home seeing those games anyways.
Yeah. So you actually filmed in a casino as well. So maybe we'll hear more about that coming up after the break. Nicole will tell us a little bit about an addiction that is prevalent here in Las Vegas. Stay with us.
Sunday evening jazz. I mainly play a lot of contemporary jazz music from the 1960s up until about 2012, 2013. When I go on, just explain who it was, the name of the song, the name of the artist, maybe the name of the album, their career. I just hope that everybody enjoys it and appreciate it for the kind of music it is and how great it is. My name is Sam, and I host Sunday Evening Jazz on the rebelhd2.com.
Through our events, we promote that we are a national service fraternity. We do service to our campus, to our community, to our college, and to our nation as participating citizens. Our cardinal principles are leadership, friendship, and service, and that you can have a great time helping out your local community and your college. We are the Alpha Zeta Upsilon chapter of Alpha Phi Omega, a national co-ed service fraternity.
Teach for America is an opportunity to inspire children to be the best they can be.
When I grow up, I want to be an actor. When I grow up, I want to be a police officer.
Give Nevada a brighter future by enriching our children's lives and inspiring them to achieve their greatest potential.
When I grow up, I'll be a scientist. When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer. When I grow up, I want to be a paramedic.
It really does make an impact in their future.
You can apply online at teachforamerica.org.
Stay with us. When looking at the hundreds of casinos and betting facilities in our own backyard, building a casino brings in a lot of revenue. A 6-month study by the UNLV Center for Gaming Research in January reported that Nevada alone brought in approximately $5.5 billion worth of gaming revenue. But with this glitz and glam of the industry, a downside comes that most people often overlook.
Whether it's the lights, the sounds, the fact that there's no windows or clocks in a casino, or simply the thrill of chasing a bet, there's something about the rush of putting money into a machine or onto a table that traps people almost every time.
I think it's important for people to understand that just because people aren't putting a substance inside their body doesn't mean it's not a real disorder.
Problem gambling has grown to affect between 8 and 11% of people in the state of Nevada, and about 1 to 2% of the population in other areas of the country. The problem, however, isn't that gambling is addictive. Like most other addictions, it's a syndrome.
I think it's a misperception that gambling maybe do it, or drinking maybe do it, or drugs, sex, whatever, shopping. Those by themselves are not addictive. What becomes a problem is when individuals use those as a means of escape and numbing psychologically to escape real life problems. So it's a method of coping that is maladaptive and creates more problems than it solves.
Some people use gambling as a means to regulate their mood or forget their problems, or check out psychologically for a while. What sets gambling apart is that unlike drugs or alcohol, where you can only consume so much in a day, the addiction is to money, a substance that in this case can continuously be racked up.
There's this concept called the gambler's fallacy. They think that as long as they play, they'll win, and they've won before, so they've had experiences where they win, but statistically they're going to lose over time.
What's the proper treatment for something that stems from other problems?
I do like the group component because it's a way to develop a safe support system while you're making a lot of life changes and trying to recover from the disorder.
If you think you or someone you may know may be struggling with addictive gambling, you may want to be on watch for the following signs: spending more time or money than one would like, chasing bets or losses, borrowing money with the wrong intention, borrowing money from multiple different sources, or lying, stealing, or committing fraud.
If any of the previous signs apply to you or someone you know, Oscar says there are a number of treatment facilities in Las Vegas that are low cost or even free. So Nicole, tell us about this story. Tell us why you wanted to do this.
So I'm a human services minor, which deals a lot with it's counseling and addictions in general, or counseling people with addictions. And I took a problem gambling class with Oscar online, and just everything about the class intrigued me, because I think it's something that we often overlook, especially here in Vegas. Like you cross through casinos, around casinos all the time, and you don't really know the story of why everyone's there. And it's a different story every time. Some people are here just for the fun of it, and other people are sitting there because they actually have a legitimate problem.
And how about some of the treatment facilities? Did they tell you about any of those, or what kind of treatment they have for those kind of addictions?
Yeah, so I was asking Oscar about it, and most of them you can find treatment for it within other firms. So like you have the overall like firm that just helps you in counseling in general, and they have specific counselors for problem gambling. Or there's a couple places here in Vegas that are specifically geared towards that. And he says that group therapy works best because you're already used to being in a casino surrounded by a lot of people, whether they are struggling with the same thing you are or not. But that's why he says that group therapy works a lot better because it's just the setting that you're more used to. But you also have like individual therapy, but that works more depending on how severe or how severe the addiction is, because this addiction stems from other things. Like gambling, like he was saying, gambling itself isn't addictive. It's what it grows from that is.
Yeah, that was really interesting because you just told me about that, and you said that women are actually more prone to gambling than men. And I've worked in the industry and I've worked in the casinos, and I had no idea. Like, we've taken classes on that, and they never talked once about women. So
yeah, and what it is casinos are well lit. There's always people around. There's always security around. So at night, late at night, regardless of if they have someone with them or not, a casino is just a safe place for a woman to be. And I mean, even when I'm in a casino, sometimes I'll just sit at a machine just to sit at a machine, and because I'm not doing anything. And sometimes it's just the lights, the sounds, that instant payout. Same with March Madness. That's why people continuously go and bet, because it's just like, I want that instant gratification, or it's the thrill of it, just the thrill of like playing, or the thrill of wanting that money in return. And that's why, I mean, women are just more prone to doing it because it's just there and it's safe.
Did anyone that you talked with, did they mention anything about the possibility of an addiction like gambling leading to another type of addiction? Because I know out here in Las Vegas, we're 24-hour everything, so.
It's more the other way around. Most people come in with alcohol addiction, so that's why they're always in bars, and most bars in Vegas have gambling machines, whether it's those little touch instant payout bets at the beginning or sports books. They're just surrounded by bars. So usually it's the other way around, where gambling stems from another addiction, or it stems from you want to get out of the house and you just want to go somewhere and not be there anymore. Or if you're struggling with something at home and you're just trying to find an easy way out, somewhere that you can be for lengthy periods of time. So problem gambling usually doesn't lead to anything. It's more things lead to that.
Did you, when you were in the casino filming, did you run into any filming issues? Did anyone give you a hard time?
So no, because I kind of did this undercover. Like all of that is with my phone. Because
wow, that's technology from your phone. I mean,
it's more of an ethical thing, and you don't want to pin someone who isn't addicted to gambling as a gambler, and you also don't want to point out someone who is struggling with addictive gambling. So it's one of those fine lines. That's why a lot of them are close up, far away. You never really saw the entirety of someone's face, because it's more concealing that. And I think the same goes for any addiction.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed seeing, again, both of your stories, and even
Thank
more
you.
hearing you talk about it.
Loved your story too.
Thank you. Stories. Those were our top stories from this past week. And due to spring break, we won't be back until April 7th to tell you about what's happening around the Valley. But be sure to tune in then, and thanks for joining us today. Have a safe spring break.
I can't wait for spring break.